Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to our Sunday edition of the wrap-up show for Let 'em Run. I'm Freddie York, Freddie Bro York with my partner. Good morning, John. What's up, John Costin?
Hey, Fred. Just trying to decompress after what an exciting and thrilling day yesterday of racing.
Well, hey, it's going to get more exciting, more thrilling as the weeks go by. Closing in on the Oaks race on Friday, the Derby on Saturday. Looking forward to that tremendously. Also, something else looking forward to, John, if I'm not mistaken, um, some nice weather, right?
Yeah, in the Northeast. The snow's almost gone. I can see all my grass now in the front yard, and nice weather coming up this week.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in the upper to mid 60s, which is kind of cool. We'll take that. Um, and how about a little update on J.K. Strong? You told me there's some possible racing coming up this week.
Yep, it was supposed to run Wednesday as we thought last week, but Parks did not plow the track. They didn't plow the back stretch, the walking for the horses, so they were contained to their stalls. It was just a horrible job by Parks to not get the track ready. After the storm, it took 3-4 days to get the track ready, and other tracks were running hours after the storm. They had it plowed and working out. So just to feel bad for all the horsemen at Parks that were cooped up in their barns and couldn't get the horses out. So Wednesday the race was canceled because of the track. They brought the entire card back on Thursday. They're going to run a special day Thursday, March 5th this week. So awesome. Same race 1, 12:05. The 5 horse, 9-2 odds. Got a favorite on the inside, the 4, who's going to be odds on, Mario Pino. But if we can run with that one, we should be in good shape. It's not a very strong race.
Hey, well, we look forward to the weather being better. We look forward to seeing J.K. Strong running. Hopefully nothing else happens strange this week. So let's just take a minute on our Sunday wrap-up show to once again say thank you to our sponsors, Case's Pork Roll. We can see them on the bottom here. If I hide this, there's Case's Pork Roll in the vape shop. Both very good supporters for a long time. And our biggest and our newest sponsor, Brisnet.com, certainly has handicapping information that you certainly do want to get to. Just like they say, the handicapper's edge. Brisnet.com, certainly, if you get their information, you will have an edge. As you listen to our podcast on Friday and Saturday, we had Mark Miller, our guest from Dominican Republic. John and I are both safely entrenched at home today. John will be traveling again soon, I'm sure somewhere soon, so he doesn't lose his title there. But boy, Mark Miller was in the Dominican Republic. So, yeah, we have some races we want to go over. So let's just talk about on our Sunday wrap-up show what we had yesterday, John. The first race of the day that we looked at was the Busher Stakes, $200,000 one-turn mile at Aqueduct. I think the winner got 37.5 points, John. So I know on the podcast on Friday and on Saturday, you talked a lot about the winners of all the races that we're going to talk about. But let's have you go ahead and dive right into this Aqueduct race, which had 5 runners in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure nobody wowed me coming out of there. Wasn't sure what to do with that 5 horse, the morning line favorite. Tried to beat him, and I said I was going to take 3-1. The 5 led the whole way, and then the 3 just outgrinded him at the end. And then the 5 basically stopped running, and it allowed the 1 to come from the clouds and come running. Not that he, did great move. It was more of the horse is tiring on the front end. So I did, say I could play just 3-1 is all I could see in a 5-horse race. And with a 5-horse race, you can't shop around. You got to just have your opinion and go with it. If you miss it, tip your hat, move on. There's just no way to shop around in a 5-horse race. So, 3-1, it did come in 7-1 on the exacta with the favorite winning the race.
Not too bad for a short field of only 5 horses. Nikon did. I thought Nikon looked good closing, like a strong closing move. That horse, I think, has to be kept on our radar.
Yeah, I agree. See where he goes next.
See what the Beyer speed figure comes back at. Her Beyer speed figures have been going up from 55 to 72 to 74, 55 to 57 to 72. So yeah, I want to see where that horse goes next. Okay. That again, the winner of that race, because there was only 5 horses, Paradise with Brad Cox as the trainer and Manny Franco as the jockey. Got 37.5 points towards the Kentucky Oaks the first Friday and Saturday. And you can see there our next race up on the screen we're going to look at is the Gotham, where the number 6 Iron Honor came through and won that race as expected. Not that that was a surprise to anybody. Of course, had the highest U.S. time form, early pace figure. Interesting enough, we lost the number 1 Prime Power, which was the number 8 Chrome. 8-1 or 12-1 was the morning line. That horse was number 1 Prime Power. I want to see where that horse goes next, Creole Chrome. But John, talk about the race because again, you kind of nailed the winner in this race as well.
Yeah, I mean, just by default, I definitely did not, take a stand with the 6. I, went through the whole field and couldn't come up with anybody else. So by default, he happened to be the pick. The only one I thought, had a shot was the 5, and I think you liked the 5 as well in that spot. So he did some running at the end. The 3 ran the race that he's run the last 3 or 4 times. We've seen it every single time where he gets the lead and then he just spits it out very late. Ran better than I thought. Took the 6, the big favorite, a little while to get by him and grind past him. But when he did, he put him away, and the 5 came running, just didn't get up there for second. But pretty formful race, very slow. And I looked at the fractions, 111 and change. Then they start crawling down this, at the end, 124, and then 137.9. So, they came home the last furlong in 13 and 7. The last quarter in 26 and change. So they basically did not come home well. I don't know who's coming out of there moving forward, what the next step is for this Chad Brown runner. We'll see, but nothing out of this race. I want basically going forward. Maybe the 5 to close for a piece at a big number in a big race down the road. That's what I'd be looking for. All right, where'd Fred go? I think he disappeared. We'll wait till he comes back. While he's gone, talk about, different pick 5 sequences, throughout the day. And the problem was yesterday, there was just so many great races, so many pick 5s all over the place. You can't play them all. You got to pick your spots. And I opted for the late pick 5 at Aqueduct. And we did catch that $70 winner. That was really nice. And then the 3-horse race always gets me when you got a 3-horse race. I can never get out of those races. So I did single Phileas Fogg, the favorite, who basically did no running at all and walked in, pulled up basically. So I didn't take advantage of a $70 winner. Then I look back, if I played the middle pick 5, races 3 through 7, that's the one that I basically would have had on a very small ticket. And ending it with the $70 winner, and it came back 46,000 for the pick 5. So just picked the wrong sequence. Didn't work out. If you just, look, when they offer so much stuff, you got to really spend time to figure out where you're going to, invest your money. You just can't play them all. I'm in now. Fred's texting me now. Fred's texting, trying to get back in now. So I guess we'll keep it going unless he here he comes.
All right, back. Apologize. I got to get that taken care of. It's quite frankly becoming embarrassing.
Well, we were talking about Fred, when you were going. I was mentioning, all the different pick 5s that were offered yesterday. There's just too much for your budget to absorb. So trying to pick the right sequence. And like I was saying yesterday, Aqueduct, I played the late pick 5. And
you did? Okay.
Didn't play like I normally do the player-friendly mid pick 5, which starts race 3 through 7. We caught the $70 winner and have nothing to show for it. And we can't, get out of a 3-horse race with a 1-5 shot. And that's what, killed us. But if I played the mid pick 3 on a small ticket, we had it and it ended with the $70 winner. And that pick 5 paid 46,000. And it was there for the taking, ending with that, 35-1 shot. So God. Just heartbreaking when you have it and you have nothing to show for it and you miss. That's the problem with playing pick 5s. One bad leg.
Again, they can be valued. The values there, they can be. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, the early pick 5 at Gulfstream Park, when we were commenting back and forth, you and I, about chaos, I think it paid 75,000, and it ended with Nightbridge winning.
With Nightbridge, was he in the fifth race?
Race?
He might have been in the race after. So that might have been a mid pick 5.
Oh, okay. So he started the next pick 5, but the early pick 5, $75,000. Crazy.
Yeah,
That was,
I mean, it was
some
it
serious
was chaos.
chaos.
Those 5 were chaos, like we talk about. And I talked to Mark Miller after we were off the air, and when I was rooting for my pick 5 in the third race, when the 2 nailed me at the wire, he had the 2, but he didn't want to, rub it in or say
No, that
anything.
was
So
good.
he had the 2, and the next race he smashed it. So he hit that, $1,100 pick 3. I don't know how many times he had it, but he said he smashed the pick 3 with those 3 winners, and they were all like $20 winners right in a row.
No, that's a nice hit for him. Well, hopefully he had some pina coladas with the chocolate on top or whatever you told him to have.
With the dark rum floater. You need the dark rum to float on top of that.
All right. So how about we go to Gulfstream Park, I guess? And
yeah, we're done with Aqueduct. Nothing came out of there that makes me excited.
Again, John, a nice field was in the field there. And again, I believe you now talked a lot about the number 8. She'd be smooth. Why don't you go ahead and pick up some comments on that?
Yeah, that was a tour de force. I mean, when she was on the rail and then she started angling out, I'm like, oh, she's got a shot. And the next thing you know, she just opened up 5 and she was gone. It was such an ultra performance for that horse. Lightly raced to do that performance. And then when they were betting the 9 horse, which I was fading, and she was 3 to 5 the whole time and went off at 4 to 5. I didn't use the 9 on my pick 5s, and I was a little worried that but they know something here. And I only went 7, 8, 8, 7 is the only 2 that I used, and we needed the 8 as a separator, and that really was
big time.
Was the one that made it. The 7 really didn't do much running, and the 9 came running late, but it was over. That 8 was ultra impressive, definitely moving forward. Big future with that horse.
Yeah, and that was the first time Flavien Prat was on that horse. I always find it interesting.
Fred, you could have rode that horse yesterday. You didn't need Flavien Prat. You could have rode
him. What I'm saying. That's a good point. Going forward, some of these jockeys who have been on different horses, that's when it gets a little bit interesting, is when jockeys or agents or trainers or what owners have to decide who is going to ride who. That's as time goes on and the weeks march on, we'll get some more information on that too. But my pick in that race, I kind of liked Omaha Bay. I thought that horse could have had a good chance to get to the front, maybe stay to the front. Not sure if the horse was going to be good enough to win. But I liked the horse when the scratch of the 2 and the 3 came about, like I mentioned. And it didn't work out, of course, but that's the way it goes. So I'll still keep an eye on that horse. I want to see how that horse, when that horse comes back again with Castellano, who is riding tremendous. He's been riding very well down there at Gulfstream Park. I don't know what they're going to do with that horse, but so let's go to the big race, John. The race 14, the Fountain of Youth. Once again, there was some discussion about these horses, and of course, nailed it again, John. The Commandment was the horse talked about quite a bit. And also, I talked about Napoleon Solo. That horse did not run a bit. Very disappointed and wondering if something was wrong with the horse, the way he ran, because the first 2 races, I mean, he destroyed the fields he raced in, including Champagne. So don't know what happened to that horse. But, John, you had the winner, so let's talk about the Commandment.
Yeah, he had the perfect dream trip. Like the announcer said, Pete Aiello, the Red Seas parted on the rail for Commandment, and he came up the rail and won. Chief Wallaby was, pressing, was wide.
Yeah, ran good.
He ran really good, and how he did not go by him, I'm like still shaking my head because that pick 5 was twice the price. I mean, we hit the pick 5 with that, and it was 4,600. With the 6 winning, it would have been 8,600, and then we even had a shot with Fred 7 for 10,000. So the 2 that I used prominently, the 4 and the 6, did hold up their end of the bargain, and they ran like I thought they would. And who was the one that that was back third? Who got third?
Jackson Hole.
I forget who got third, but they were pretty much clear. The 4 and the 6 on the front end, and they ran pretty fast time. The buyers should come back nice in the mid 90s, I'm guessing, something like that. So they're both, moving forward. And if you watched a replay, which I did this morning, the gallop out, watch Irad Ortiz on the 4 Commandment after he won the race.
Right.
And usually, you're jogging or whatever. He needled the horse along to get another furlong or two. So he was
Really?
actually, after he slowed up a little bit, then he got into the turn. So into the clubhouse turn, he got into him and he opened up, 15, 20 lengths on the 6 horse. But, he went there with an intention. No matter what happened in the race, he was going to gallop out and run an extra 2 furlongs. So
Well, I mean,
take a look at that. You can watch him, around the turn.
I'm going to check that. I think that there's got to be some input probably from the trainer to tell them to do that. I would think,
Oh,
right, John?
100%. They
Yeah.
they had that plan. That's all from Cox to say, no matter what, just keep going. Let's
Keep going.
keep going another,
Win, lose, or draw, keep going past the horses and open them
Yep.
up. That number 10, Solitude Dude, came in third.
Oh, yeah.
That was another horse that I liked. Ran a nice race, but just couldn't get there and just kind of came in third. So those were some very good races that we got to watch. There was another race today going off, very interesting. So it's not over, John. We're not done yet. So we don't need
Nope.
to go through horse by horse, but let's talk about who you like and talk about who I like in that race.
First, I want to wrap up the pick 5 yesterday, just like a little education on handicapping and ticket structure and, and how it all panned out.
That's good idea.
So
Like-
if my ticket that we posted yesterday, we played the pick 5 instead of the pick 6. And then, like I said, I'm doubling up the 4 and the 6. It was an $80 ticket for the pick 5 based on what I posted. And instead of singling the 6, you had budget to go 4-6 in that.
4-6, that would have worked out.
$80 ticket would have came back 4,600. And, the whole key was the first leg of the pick 5 when I mentioned that Ian Wilkes horse, 20-1, second time turf, bred to go long. Ian Wilkes was not putting the horse in just as a stab. And that was the key right there. You catch a morning line 20-1, goes off 13-1, upstates some favorites. So that set it off.
No, that was a good
the right
call.
direction.
That was a good call. Hey, when we put our tickets up there, again, we try to keep it budget friendly, obviously, but we talk about how you can expand your ticket, especially, John, when you talk about other horses that you like. But just for budget purposes, you might include them. If people want to increase their budget on a ticket that we put up there that says it's $120 and you want to double the price on it because you're going to include some other horses that we talk about, feel free to do it. Or yesterday was a pick 6. We often put up a pick 5. Certainly gives you guys the options in the middle. You can play pick 3. The structure of the tickets can be massaged to your sort of liking depending on what you want to do.
Yep. And the next race, in a pick 5 sequence, when that's She Be Smooth, the 8 horse, beats the 2 big favorites. I mean, that's a separator. Even though she was third choice, you're talking 5 to 10 times more on the multi races.
Yeah, and then because there's others with such big favorites. I mean, you're talking third choice, but you're talking whatever that. What did she pay out? She paid out pretty decent for third choice in a race where the top 2 choices were big, very high.
And then I'm banging my head again with Lush Lips. How many times am I going to keep?
You said it on the show, or we're going to get egg on our face again.
Oh, we just try to beat her all the time, and thought I had her beat. The 1 and the 3 pulled away, and I'm hoping one of the 2 hold on. And then here she comes.
The horse too
Perfectly
good.
timed ride by Tyler Gaffleone. He knows
The
that
horse
turf course.
too
Unbelievable
good.
ride, and she wins going away. So
Too good.
if
Just too
she
good.
gets beat, the pick 5, pays 15 grand, and then the 6 goes by the 4, pays 25 grand. So it
Yep.
was that fine line yesterday that we just couldn't, finish it. And then like the next race, which really no strong opinion, it was like a really shaky. The 3 was Layabout, the favorite. Grand Sonata has 1 win in 2 years, but like we said, is the easiest field that he's lined up against
Absolutely.
in 2 years.
No,
My horse Tank, my bomb, never got to the lead. He was grinding on the outside, 3rd, 4th, which at that point that was my theory was out the door there. So I gave up on him and just hoped for a price to come in. And Grand Sonata off the morning line went off 6-1. So that was pretty nice. So
That was a good
it was
price,
there for the taking yesterday, folks.
Well, that's what we do. We try and put it out there for the taking. So let's go ahead and finish up by talking about this race at Oaklawn Park. The Oaklawn Park today at 6:23 Eastern Standard Time, mile 16th on the dirt. The Rebel, 50 points for the towards the Kentucky Derby, 50 points for sure. I don't think Oaklawn Park put out any scratches yet. It's probably a little early for them. I can check in a little bit, but John, who you like this week?
Yeah, we talked about it the other day, and then defensively, I want to use like Blackout Time because we loved him. Last year going into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, we were all in on him. We talked about him, and he scratched. So this is first time back after that. At the low odds, I'm going to root for him, but as a better, try to beat him. Silent Tactic, which we had last time, that was the wedding, and now if you missed them last time at 12-1, now you're going to get half the price. I mean, it was way less of a field that he beat there. And he came running at the end and just passed some tired horses. A lot of sprinters in that race that we were trying to stretch out though. Yeah. So it looked visually impressive, but it wasn't like, they were all running at the end. So, downgrade him. I love the horse. I'm going to, use him for sure. But Strategic Risk, who was, almost a single for me in that spot. He ran such good races. What happened the last race? No idea, how he ran so bad. And now he's 12-1. You're probably going to get 10-1 because we're going to look at that last one. Yeah. Mark Casse said he has no idea what happened in that race. So, off those two prior races, if you could forgive the last race where nobody knows what happened, put a line through it. There's your possible 10-1 shot. And the other one I'm going to use is the 3, Class President. Why they turned him back to a sprint last time. He's bred to go longer. Uncle Mo out of a Quality Road mare. And he ran with Solitude Dude last time in that sprint race. Solitude Dude just came back and ran third yesterday. So that form will hold up. I think he'll be sitting close. And, at 10-1, I'm using him and I'm using Strategic Risk with the logicals, the 2 and the 4. Can't take nothing away from Litmus Test. So I'm going to play around like 4 of them in that spot.
Yeah, I think basically I have some of the same kind of thoughts you have. Blackout Time is not going to get a lonely lead. There's going to be horses running with that horse for sure. And I think that gives, my opinion, the horse you already mentioned, Strategic Risk, a big shot. And I think that horse is not a need to lead type. It's Javier Castellano's only mount. I love it when a jockey comes in for an only mount. He's ridden that horse the last 3 times. Like you said, who knows what happened last time? And Castellano was riding like a champ yesterday at Gulfstream Park. I mean, he had some horses that he was closing with and the horses that he had up front. I think Castellano is going to take this horse. And like you said, whatever 12-1 morning line, like you said, he may go down 10-1, 8-1, not taking anything away from Litmus Test or Blackout Time. But I also like Soldier and Diplomat out there with Jose Ortiz on the horse. Great spot for Jose to sort of track what goes on in front of him. I think that horse has a better race in this race, or a better race in this horse for this race. A second off the layoff. I think when Jose Ortiz gets on a horse for the second time, it kind of has actually third time. Broke his maiden with Jose back at Saratoga in July. So those are the ones I'm going to use. I like Silent Tactic too, but I think my number one pick is going to be Strategic Risk. I really like that horse a lot, John. Like you said, right behind him is number 10, Soldier and Diplomat. So I'm going to build my tickets around number 6, Strategic Risk, number 10, Soldier and Diplomat, and maybe, as you mentioned, since you mentioned him, take a look at the Class President. I like it when Johnny V's on a young horse. I think he can. That horse had highest last race speed rating, which is something that President talks about. I think that horse has a better race in him as well. So those are our picks for those races, John. Anything else that you would like to comment about with some thoughts on this Oaklawn Park big time Rebel Stakes?
Let's see. We got the Oaklawn, the pick 5 starts in race 8. I looked at that. Tampa Bay, there's a small pick 5 carryover that starts in race 5. You could probably attack that Tampa Bay in a budget ticket. looks a little bit chalky in some spots. So maybe a small ticket, take advantage of the carryover money that's in there, which isn't huge, but it'll help to take out, and you're betting into that positive expectation pool that we talk about. So I'm going to play around with Tampa Bay late on the smaller side. Oaklawn, I'm going to spread and take some shots with, some prices that I like and key around the horses. Let's see, that one race, the 9th race, the Honeybee coming up. Explorer coming in for Bob Baffert's going to be, even money. I think she might be better at a little shorter distance, but this field, she definitely, runs a race. She wins, no problem. But there's a horse in there, the 7 horse for, I believe it is Cassie, was 3-5 in the Martha Washington last time and walked in and basically was eased. So if you could forgive that race, she's done it before where she's had a clunker and came back and won impressively. So they're running her in the spot. She's 15-1 morning line. I'm going to play around with, her and Explorer, the 7 and 9 in that Honeybee. And then we always love the coast to coast dollar wager late in the day with Gulfstream and
no rest for the weary, John. No rest for the weary, brother.
I mean, I got, there's that. There's that. There's that. I mean, I got
John. You don't use highlighters. You don't use highlighters.
I run. I have no time for highlighters. I know everything is color coded for you. You just glance down. You know exactly what you're looking at. I gotta relook at it a time or two.
Maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe I should use less highlighters. Hey, what's interesting in those after the 11th race at Oaklawn Park, the pick 5 ends with a maiden special weight race, which is kind of interesting. It's a huge field. There's 12, let me see, is it 12 or 14 horses? There's a couple also eligibles. I looked, the scratches are not out yet for Oaklawn Park, but that's a tough sequence. But I really looked at this already. Tyler Bacon's on a 7 horse. I think I said 7 horse. So Like a Diamond for a kind of an unknown trainer, Jamie Gonzalez, not very well known. I think that horse, more line's 8-5. I think this horse is vulnerable. I think if you're looking to spread in that race, I don't know how that horse is 8-5. You got some other good horses to take a look at that would probably, like you say, separate. I like the 11. It's a horse I like, Breaker Wave, ridden by Hernandez, not JJ Hernandez, Ian Hernandez. Ran a nice race with a 12-horse field last time out, came in second just by a neck. He's in 6-1 on the morning line. I love the post out there. I think in a 6 furlong race, that horse is just going to let the race unfold in front of him. That would be a horse I would use too in that race too. So let's see how it goes, John. I look forward to seeing J.K. Strong running on Thursday at 12:05, race number 1. We wish J.K. Strong the best of luck. Once again, we have a comment up here, and I wonder, let me see what it's from. Capital Sports Network, talk about soccer, bro. Yo, is that from our boss?
It's from the boss, I think, yeah.
What kind of soccer can we talk about? I don't know anything about soccer.
I don't know. I guess it's Premier League days.
Well, John, you have some background in soccer, so why don't you close out with talking some soccer? I don't want Sean to get mad at us.
I know. Big game is just kicked off now. 11:30. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Huge game in the Premier League right now. So
tune in Sean.
It'll be on there. So let's see. Chelsea and Arsenal. One of the all-time rivalries in the EPL. So it's probably on NBC right now.
John, thank you for doing that. Saving our necks here, because I just saw that comment by Sean. Talk about soccer, bro. There it is. Talk about soccer, bro, from Capital Sports Network, Sports Talk Media Network, whatever you want to say, Florida Sports Talk. Anytime Sean talks, just like that old saying used to be, I don't know if younger people know about, what was that? When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen, something like that. I don't know if that's how the saying went or not, but when Sean talks, a.k.a. the genius, we listen. So, Sean, we talk about soccer. Well, actually, John talked about soccer. I can't really talk about that. Thank you, John, for saving us. On that note, we'll wrap it up since it is the actual wrap-up show here. Don't forget, we have our picks on Monday and Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We'll do our Brisnet Bro JK pick of the day. I've already taken a look at their 10th race tomorrow at Parks. A big field of 12 runners in there. claiming $5,000 race. Talk about chaos happening. We'll talk about that, or I'll talk about that on Monday. John, we'll see if that works out. Wednesdays, 2 o'clock. Our shows are screening on the bottom, streaming across the bottom of the ticker. Monday and Wednesday, we have a 2 o'clock show. Friday's always our happy hour at 12:30 and 3 o'clock. I'm sorry. Friday at 3 o'clock is our happy hour. Saturday is 12:30. Of course, and today's our wrap-up show. So, John, any final comments before we say goodbye?
No, I'm just going to try to dive in and pick the right sequence today and hopefully have a day like we did yesterday.
All right. Well, good luck, John. And don't forget, bet smart, cheer hard, fast horses. Sometimes equal series fun. Not yesterday. Napoleon Solo was not a fast horse. So
Not fast enough.
Did not come through. We'll see if it works out today. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll see. We'll talk tomorrow again at 2 o'clock. And I'll definitely get this internet situation fixed. I apologize for us checking out there briefly. I don't know what's going on. But adios, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for checking in. And we'll talk again later. So let him run.
All right. Let him run, everybody.